welcome to our specialist art day for this week. I'm so excited to be doing some art with you, and I hope you're really excited with the art piece that I have for you. So today we are going to be doing a fantastic frog. Okay, so some of the materials that I have used on here for my frog that's sleeping out of the pond, I've used textures, pencils, oil pastels, a black Sharpie. I've just drawn straight with a black Sharpie today, but you can use a grey lead if you need to. And I've also used some of these paints as well. Some of you have paints, some of you don't. It doesn't matter if you don't have paints, it's okay. And I'm going to teach you how to do some layering with some oil pastels as well. So if you have any of those things to draw and colour with, bring them along with you and make sure that you have a piece of paper and you have everything that you need and you're ready to go and ready to start with our art lesson. And I can't wait to be drawing our fantastic frogs with you very, very soon. Okay, so go and grab those things and I'll see you shortly.
Hi everybody, and welcome to our fantastic frog. So I'm going to go through with you today how you can draw your own fantastic frog. Okay, so hopefully you have all the things that you need ready. So you'll need a Sharpie or a grey lead pencil to draw with. I've just drawn straight with a Sharpie today. Oil pastels if you have them, and pencils and textures. And if you have these are absolutely fantastic. Use these if you can. If you have them, if you don't stress too much. You're going to then use your oil pastels to do your blocking in and create those shadows, just like we did with our cool cats at school. It's the same kind of thing that we're going to be doing. But if you have any of those things, go and get them. And stop this video, go and get them, then come back and then play the video. I'm going to just flip my screen for you so you can see my table and you can see what I'm doing, so you can draw along with me in your directed drawing. Okay, so go and get yourself organized and then come back. Okay, hopefully you are now organized and you are back. So let's get some drawing going. So we're going to turn our paper around portrait. So we want our frog to be this way on our paper. Okay, so we're going to have some flowers, some reeds that belong in the wetlands down the bottom. And then we're going to have our frog looks like he's doing a little bit of backstroke and he's facing up. And he looks very happy there in his pond, doesn't he? And we've got for the background some water lilies. There's a butterfly flying around. You can have dragonfly as well. Dragonflies are usually what you would find around the wetlands where you would find frogs anyway. And we've got a little bit of water reed there coming through as well. So as you can see, on my frog, when I coloured him in, what I've actually done is I've graduated some of the colours, and I did that using the watercolour blocks, but you can do that with your pencils and do that kind of shading if you wanted to with your pencils as well. Okay, so you can see that I've blocked the frog in yellow, just so that he contrasts against the blue of the water of the pond. Okay, and you can see I've then outlined him with an oil pastel, an orange oil pastel, and I've done some outlining, and I've got some lights and darks on his arms and his legs as well. Okay, so you can see that very clearly. I've done that on the flowers here for the wetland flowers. So I will show you how to do that after we've done our directed drawing, and you can kind of see I've started to put in some different kinds of techniques. Watercolor on top of watercolor, but it's really pale down the bottom and it goes up to really dark up the top with some dark shadows sitting underneath our water lilies. Okay, so let's get started and then we'll go through the color. All right, so turn your paper around portrait. So then you are ready to go. We want our frog to take up the middle of our paper today. So I'm going to move the frog over just to my right, and I'm going to have him sitting there just so I can see for reference. But you can use this for your reference anyway if you wanted to. So we're going to start with the eye. So he's facing this way on an angle. All right. So our eyes, just 2 circles. do 2 circles. Line in the middle. And we're going to draw and join up his head. Now, I've come down here a little bit further because remember, our frog has a cheeky smile because he's frolicking and having so much fun in the water. So we need to leave enough room for a cheeky smile and a cheeky tongue. It's kind of a bit like he's poking his tongue out, isn't it? All right, so there's his cheeks. He's got a cheeky smile. We need his tongue. And don't forget, frogs, like Tiddalik, have really long tongues so they can flick their tongues out and they can grab onto any of the flies that might be flying around that they can eat. All right, so do his eyes, and our frog today is kind of looking that way to the right. I'm right-handed, so this is my right hand, so he's looking to the right of the paper. So colour them in. So that's 1. And so now he's looking really cheeky, isn't he? So now we need to do the body. All right, so I'm going to move my paper up just a little bit so you can see it, because you can't see my full paper on the screen, unfortunately. So I want his body to come and finish about here, because we need his legs to come out and we need room for his arms. So that's kind of why he's there and he's on an angle. So if you wanted to turn him straight, you can. And if you wanted to just put a bit of a dot there, that's where you want the bottom of his body. Now he's he's a fat frog, so he has a really rounded body. So we kind of want to be nice and fat. All right, so let's go nice and fat. You can come out even a little bit more on the side there if you wanted to, but that's okay. Don't forget his tummy. So we're going to do his tummy. Okay, and there's his tummy ready to go. So we want our frogs. I'm going to put some decoration in and have some circles. Don't forget, you can have your circles going off his body. So kind of goes around his body if you wanted to. Just adds a little bit more to your frog. And did you notice I've got different size circles? I've got some big circles, some medium-sized circles, and then some little circles there as well. Okay. Doesn't matter that we've still got a little dot there. We're going to cover it up when we do some painting or some colouring over the top. Let's do his legs. All right. If you need to catch up with his body, stop the video now, catch up, and then when you're ready, start the video so we can do the legs. Okay. All right. So if you're ready to keep going, you can. We're going to do his legs, but he's going to kind of come out at an angle. And his leg goes down there. His legs kind of splayed out a little bit. Frogs have nice long legs too. So here's his legs. One leg, and the other one sort of coming out here. So he's on his angle, and there's his other leg. All right, they have webbed feet. So let's do their webbed feet. They're kind of like little W's. Right, and this one's going to have his feet going this way. Whoops, I forgot the toes going that way. Which ones do you prefer? I think these ones, but if you want a cheeky frog, you can do those ones as well. It doesn't matter. I made a mistake. Let's keep going. Doesn't matter. Let's do his arms. His arms are up above his head. Okay, so let's do this one first. And we kind of want to get this one in a bit, so he's going to have little skinny, stringy arms. There we go, and then this one, we can curve these around. He's a bit straighter at his elbows there. And let's just draw in his hands. All right. So if you need to stop the video, this is a good point to stop the video to finish off the legs. And then to finish off the arms as well. So then we're ready to go for the background. Okay, so stop the video at this point. If you're up to date and you've caught up, fantastic. Let's keep going. All right, we're going to start down the bottom. Remember in my picture, I had some of the reeds. And I had 1, 2, 3. 3 balances it out really nicely. So 3 in art is really good, having things in threes. So 1, 2, 3. And have you noticed, this is the big one, so it's nice and tall, and it's a bit fat. Then I've got a little one here in the middle, and this one's kind of the same height as this one in the middle, but he's off to the side to give a little bit of interest and balance to our picture. All right, so let's go and we'll draw some of those ones for you. So I'm going to draw that flower out here first, and it's a bit like a sausage. Okay, and then it has a point up the top that we will colour a little bit later, yellow, and then just his stems. Now, if you've noticed, I have got another piece of paper underneath, and I've just gone off with the Sharpie. So I've got a piece of paper underneath just to protect the table, even though I've got a mat. If you don't have a mat, put something underneath if you're using a Sharpie, because it does go through. You can see the back of the paper there, and you can see I've already got other points on my paper here, just to protect the table for Mum and Dad. All right, nice big leaves that are now going to come out at this point. Okay, so there's one there, and that's the vein in the middle of this nice big leaf, and another one at this angle, right through there, and that's your vein. And having the vein there gives us the opportunity when we're colouring to have some lights and darks, so we can start bringing in some shadows into these colours, and maybe having light on the top as though the sun is shining down on top of things, and then dark on the bottom, because then that's the shadow in underneath. All right, so that's our first one. We're going to have a little one in the middle. So I'm just working away with what I've got, and I'm going to have the frog's leg sitting on top. So I'll just draw a little bit there. Okay, don't forget the leaves, the stems, and you can once again go outside on the other side of the frog. Just don't draw across the frog's leg. So the frog is now, his foot is sitting on top of the leaf. And you can have this one on top of the other leaf there, because you could, when you're looking and they're planted together in the wetlands, they're all nice on top of each other there as well. So you can have them sitting there on top of that one. And when you're colouring in, you just adjust the colour. All right, let's do one more. We can do a different one through here. Doesn't matter if you go off the page. Remember, I've got the other paper there, sitting there, just to help with protecting the table. All right, so we've done our 3, and let's just do some soil and just ground that through there. So we're doing our background. All right, pause the video if you need to catch up, and draw your 3 reeds and the flowers that go with it. Don't forget to draw some soil, so we're going to do this brown. Okay, so these ones are brown. We can colour them in brown if you like. From my sample, you'll have my sample to copy with the colour if you need to. We can talk about the colour as we're live as well. Okay, so if you don't have a chance to finish it all, I'd like you to do another one. Even if you've done this one first as a practice, come live to the session and we'll do another one. All right, so we need to have some lilies. He's in the pond. Okay, so we're going to bring in some of these lilies here, and I'll show you how to draw them. We're going to draw the outside first and take like a wedge out, a little bit like a pizza. Okay, let's go with that one. So it doesn't matter, once again, if it's off, it actually gives a little bit more interest if it's off the paper. So we'll go around nice and big, do our wedge, around again. Okay, and in the middle, we're going to draw our flower, and it's just a little bit like a normal kind of daisy. You can do that, and you can draw some of the petals through there. Okay, some of the lines. These are the veins on the water lily, because the veins have, they carry even though it's sitting in water, they carry water out to the rest of the water lily leaf that the flowers sit on. So then the sun can use that water when it makes food, when it photosynthesizes and makes food. Okay, so we're going to do another water lily, I think around here. We're going to fill in this space here with something. So let's do another one through here. And it doesn't have to be perfect shape. Okay. If you go slow, you'll be able to get the shapes that you are wanting with that water lily. All right, so that's our water lily there. Now I also had a butterfly, remember? So butterflies are symmetrical. So we'll go down and draw his belly and his body. And then when we do the wings, we want them to be symmetrical. So symmetrical, we want both sides to be the same as much as we can. And we can do then some patterns. And you don't forget, you can do patterns with colors as well. The antennae. All right. Okay, so there's our butterfly there. We also had some reeds and as well. So we're going to do this one, and this one can snake in and out and around if we wanted to, if we've got the room. We don't have much room. Well, I don't have much room on this one. So I'm just going to do a small one that can come in. This is just the stem and bring it around, so I'm filling up that space as well. And then my leaves. But making sure with this one, your leaves join each other at the stem, okay, at this same point here on either side. So kind of a bit like the butterfly, you're making them symmetrical too. And you can make them wherever you like, along. You can have them coming off. I'm going to put that one behind the frog's hand. There we go. So that's going to be our leaves. All right, so we've got a lot on there now. And the best part about this is the actual colour. So I'm going to just go through the colour quickly just in case you can't get to the live session. And you can see I've done lots of different highlights and shadows and things like that as well. So I did a base with the watercolour first, and that was my base. So if you have the watercolours, fantastic. Now remember, if we are doing the frog first, okay, is our main focal point, just leave some room so that you can do the circles, and maybe do them in an orange, so yellow and orange come together. You only need a little bit of paint if you're using these ones. If you don't have these watercolors, I suggest you use oil pastels if you have oil pastels, and do your blocking in. So make sure when we block in, remember the term is blocking in, because we block in the color. We don't want to see any white showing through that color. Okay. So make sure you cover every part of the frog's body. Go out. Try to stay inside the lines. Okay, I'm working a little bit quick today for you so that we can get some of this done. I want to do the brown on the flowers because I want to show you some darks and lights on the flowers and the leaves, right? But we can go through that a bit more. So there's his leaves. I'm going to do a blocking color. You have to let this dry. Okay, so you need to allow some drying time, maybe 5-10 minutes drying time, and then you can go back over the shadow as well. Okay, so now I've just done a blocking in color. I haven't got any highlights, I haven't got any shadows. As you can see with this one here, I did this first and did a blocking in color. So you can do that with your oil pastels. If you're choosing that color though, use a mid color. If you've got 3 browns, so I've got 1, 2, 3 browns, I would probably choose that brown there, and then I would do dark, and then I would bring in maybe a yellow for the highlights and a little bit of the white. So it's about your color combinations now and choosing your colors very, very carefully. You also want your strong contrasting colors like I have with the frog and the blue water. Okay, so I made sure I did the top a darker blue and then went to a lighter blue down the bottom, and then just with my brush on the watercolors I just did some lines like that. If you're using oil pastels, you can just bring that in like that over. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you're using. Mix it up too. Mix up textures, mix up your oil pastels, mix up your watercolors, your pencils. Use all of those things in the one painting, okay, in the one picture, and then you will get some nice beautiful layers of colors. And you can see my layers of colors. I'm trying to go around like his tummy, so I'm curving my lines, making his tummy nice and curved and a fat belly. And then I've gone through and used the different colored greens and yellows. So I've pulled out all these different colors that I can use just in his tummy. All right, so I've used those and blended those together. Darker green on the outside as an outline, and then I've gone to the next color green, the yellow, and then I've done the white for the light in the middle. You can also notice the water underneath him around his body. I've used a little bit of purple, just a little touch of purple underneath, so that we've got a bit of a shadow, particularly up the top because it's darker up the top. All right, so have a go at some of those shadows. I will go through those during our live session, and we can spend a little bit more time on the lights and darks and shadows. All right, so don't forget to come prepared to the live session with all the things that you will need. All right, and we'll have another go at it. All right, and I'll see you soon.
Hi everybody, and welcome back. And hopefully you have gone through all the steps of our drawing today. You've joined me live, and we've gone through any of the skills that you need to use, and I've showed you some techniques. So I hope you have fun today with art with our specialist program. And don't forget, any of your finished work that you have done, shoot us an email, send them through to Mr. Sharp at psharp.catholic.edu.au, and we'll enjoy seeing some of your work. And I would love to have a little mini exhibition of today and send that back out to you. So don't forget, share your work with us so we can share it with the St. Agatha's community. All right, thanks for today, and bye for now.